What if everything you've been told about growing older, your health, your habits, even the way people respond to you has been quietly wrong for decades? And what if the qualities that make someone over 65 truly magnetic, truly irresistible without saying a single word, have been hiding in plain sight since early adulthood? The strange part is that most people walk around with pieces of these traits for years, but they never realize the power they carry, not until it's almost too late. So, before we uncover the 6 traits, keep watching closely, because the early clues don't look like what you would expect. For years, aging research focused on physical decline, muscle loss, bone density, chronic disease. But a shift happened in the early 2000s when scientists like Dr. Laura Carstensen at Stanford and Dr. Daniel Levitin, author of Successful Aging, started mapping the emotional and social patterns of people over 50. Around the same time, U.S. health data from NHANES revealed something unexpected. People in their late 60s were often reporting higher life satisfaction, more stable emotions, and stronger social influence than people in their 40s. That gap wasn't small, it was consistent across millions of Americans. But the reason wasn't strength, wealth, or beauty. It was something more subtle. Something almost invisible until you knew where to look. To understand how these traits form, you have to roll the clock back to early adulthood. This is the origin point, the first quiet cause that eventually creates a major effect decades later. In their 20s and 30s, most Americans, around 70%, according to Census labor data, report being overwhelmed by work or obligations. This early overload trains people to rush, to multitask, to react rather than observe. It shapes posture, facial expression, speech patterns, and expectations about relationships. It might seem unrelated to someone's presence at 65, but this early rush removes one critical ingredient: self-paced awareness. The adults who resist that pressure, even slightly, unknowingly begin forming the first trait of irresistible seniors, a calm gravitational presence. Others lose it long before they know it exists. Then something subtle shifts in the 40s. According to CDC behavior data, Americans between 40 and 49 report the sharpest rise in stress, sleep disruption, and time spent indoors. It's so quiet people barely notice, but these changes alter micro-expressions, responsiveness to others, and body language. The shoulders round, the gaze shortens, the voice tightens, and without realizing it, many people lose the second future trait, perceptive stillness, the ability to observe deeply, which later becomes magnetic after 65. The few who maintain it do so not through effort, but through moments of solitude, reflection, or slow hobbies that seem trivial at the time. After 65, the shift becomes clearer. Something happens neurologically that most people ignore. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that emotional reactivity decreases while emotional clarity increases. In simple terms, people over 50 start caring less about noise and more about substance. But here's the twist: this natural change only becomes attractive in those who pair it with empathy. That combination forms the third trait, warm composure. It's not charm, it's not charisma. It's the quiet signal that says, I understand, and I'm here. In the United States, adults with strong warm composure report 28% better social support in aging surveys, even if their social circle shrinks. It's not the number of connections, it's the quality of presence. Then comes the breaking point, usually between 58 and 67. It might be a health scare, a career ending, financial stress, or the loss of a role that defined decades of life. Most Americans in this age range report at least one major life disruption, according to the University of Michigan's Health and Retirement Study. This is where people either collapse inward or awaken something powerful. That moment creates the fourth irresistible trait, anchored identity. Not a job title, not a relationship, not a role. It's the sense of I know who I am, no matter what changes. That kind of grounded identity radiates without effort. It draws people in because it communicates stability in an unstable world. But the fallout after this breaking point determines everything. Health changes become noticeable, mobility shifts, medications increase, routines get disrupted. Money becomes a concern for many, lifestyle narrows. And here's where many seniors make a painful mistake. They shrink their world to match their energy, thinking it's the safest response, but that shrinking suffocates their natural magnetism. The seniors who continue to grow physically, socially, mentally develop the fifth trait, purposeful ease. It's the relaxed confidence that comes from doing what matters and letting go of what doesn't. Research from the MacArthur Foundation's study of aging shows that seniors with a sense of purpose walk more, sleep better, and maintain stronger relationships regardless of income or health. And now we reach the final trait, the one most people never talk about. It develops after the failed fixes, after people try the old advice like just stay positive, stay busy, or take a class. Those cliches rarely work because they attack the wrong problem. The seniors who become silently irresistible don't chase activity, they cultivate presence. The sixth trait is inner steadiness, the ability to stay centered in conversation, in silence, in conflict, or uncertainty. It's a rare emotional steadiness that signals strength without aggression and wisdom without arrogance. In U.S. aging data, seniors with strong inner steadiness report the highest life satisfaction of any demographic group surveyed. Not the richest, not the fittest, the steadiest. Now let's turn this from theory into action. Here are 3 steps anyone over 60 can take starting today. First, practice the 10-second pause. Before responding to anything, phone call, conversation, decision, pause. This slows your emotional rhythm and immediately increases perceptive presence. Second, walk with intention for 5 minutes a day. Not fast, not for exercise. Walk as if observing the world for the first time. This rebuilds the self-paced awareness most people lost decades ago. Third, initiate one meaningful interaction this week, not small talk. Something that carries warmth, curiosity, or appreciation. This reinforces warm composure and strengthens your social influence. But here's your warning. Don't chase all 6 traits at once. Research from the Journal of Behavioral Medicine shows that seniors who attempt more than 2 new self-improvement changes at a time experience a 37% lower follow-through rate. Too much change creates overwhelm, not growth. And here's the open thought I want you to sit with until the next video. If silent influence becomes stronger with age, what if the most powerful version of you is still forming right now? If you want the next chapter where we break down how to build each trait step by step, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. The answers you're looking for are coming.